Welcome to Big Blend Radio with travel writer Linda Kissam, the food, wine, and shopping diva. Welcome, everybody. You know, Diva Linda loves to go out cruising during the summer. Her and her husband, Alan, do that. They go yachting out through the Pacific Northwest, Washington State, Canada, Vancouver area. And then the fall and winter, she is back home in Arizona. So I think she's feeling a little landlocked right now. So she wants to go back to the Pacific Northwest, and she had a wonderful experience with True North Charters. And we have Captain Cy Evans on the show with us today to talk about their charters and what they do. But first, welcome back, Diva Linda. Is it good to be back in the desert? You're missing the ocean?
Back in Phoenix area. Yep, and it's 93 degrees, so that's a bit different from 65 degrees that I left. And all the beautiful change of foliage and so forth and so on. But Phoenix, of course, has its own beautiful attractions. And when Cy's in 54 degrees for 6 months, I'll be, up in the 80s. So Phoenix has its attractions for sure.
Well, you've got the Colorado River nearby if you really get, a hankering for water. You've got that nearby.
Yeah, and our house is on a lake, so I could see the water and the ducks and the and the herons and all that every day. So all good.
Oh, we need the herons. We need the herons. Well, Nancy and I will be on a lake soon, so we love that because of the herons. That's the most important thing. But welcome, Captain Cy. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing very well. Good to see you and get this thing going. And
yeah. Are you going to turn the boat on?
Yeah. Well, I'm actually not on board right now.
I know.
But it looks like your background. You're on the boat. So
I'm on the boat. I feel like I need to be on a boat right now, and I'd like 93-degree weather too. But Cy, this is exciting because I know Linda and her husband are they go sailing everywhere, and it's good to have you on the show to talk about what you do. But you're based out of Tacoma, right?
Yes, correct. We're based out of Tyee Marina. And that's the South Sound Commencement Bay.
Okay, area. So Diva Linda, did you just bump into him? Did you bump boats and meet that way? How did that happen? Or maybe I shouldn't say that.
No, it's okay. Alan and I moved the boat from Seattle to Tacoma this year, and Cy was the very first person who helped us dock. So that was how we got to know him, and then from there it's just been a love fest. He's a wonderful guy. He helps us out a lot. He's our nanny for the boat for the winter. You have to have somebody looking out to make sure it doesn't float away or you don't get an oil leak or whatever. So thank you again, Cy, for that. And he and Alan have long talks about water stuff. I don't know, it's not my deal, but
Men
it
with
is
boats.
theirs. It's
Men
quite
with
wonderful.
Boat stuff. Men with boat stuff.
Yeah. That can just go on and on and on.
No, wait, are you really called a nanny when you're like watching over someone's boat, or is there a special term? We better get things straight,
Caretaker would be a little
caretaker.
Caretaker. There you go.
We're making sure everybody has the right names these days, so I want to make sure. But tell us a little bit about your background of getting out on the water. Is this something that are you from the Pacific Northwest and had this ocean in your soul from birth?
Well, I definitely would say I have it in my soul, but I was born in Ketchikan, Alaska, and my dad had a charter service up there with a 90-foot yacht. Wow. And I pretty much lived on that boat for part of my life. And so he's been a captain forever, and he's taught me everything there is to know about boats. And I grew up that way and running that big boat at a very young age. So I've learned every inch of that boat and from the engine room on up. So I gathered a lot of information on boating, and that's what got me into it. And I've owned boats all my life. And my dad passed away some years ago and the boat left, but I've always kept the boat and always will.
So with being up in Alaska and then coming down to Tacoma area, is there a stopping time, or do you go out even in the winter? I know, Diva Linda and Alan say, okay, that's enough of that weather for us. We're going to sunshine for now. And that's pretty
Yes.
much how she says it too, right? That's enough of that. We're going for sunshine now. But I mean, in Alaska, do some of the boats do like fishing for some part of the season, and then another part of the season it's tourism? Like, how does
Yeah,
that work
well,
versus you
it
now?
does. I mean, we didn't get into the fishing scene. We were basically had contracts with logging crews, Forest Service, things like that, to where we took them wherever they were doing their work, and we would
Oh,
anchor up
cool.
sometimes months at a time. So we
Oh,
were
wow.
basically a floating motel, and they would sleep on the boat, go during the day, do their work, and come back to the boat. And so that's kind of how he ran things. And I learned a lot
Mhm.
from him from that. I mean, number one is to give your clients the best experience possible. And that was the most important thing. And
Mm,
so I took it upon that to when we have our charters and our clients aboard, from the moment they step on our boat, it's nothing but VIP service, and we make them feel very welcome. Um, we have a very well maintained boat, and it's very reliable and safe. So
mm,
safety is another thing. We're number one with our safety with our clients, and but we don't hammer that on them, but we assure them that I show them where life jackets are, things like that. But as far as safety goes, we have all the gear aboard that's necessary, and
mm,
we take it above and beyond that. So it's very
mm.
important to us to have them feel secure during our charters.
So your charters, are they per day, or do you have any overnight charters?
We don't as yet. Our charters are 4 hour charters, and the yacht that we bought is a 38-foot Bayliner motor yacht, and it does have staterooms, and it actually has, for convenience, two bathrooms, which is very nice for our clients. Um,
Mm,
but we are looking this next season to step the yacht size up, and we're looking for a 47-foot pilot house. And
mm.
then our idea is to do like San Juan Island tours, to where, for a weekend, and they'll have their own staterooms and be able
Mm.
to, stay on the boat overnight. But for right now, it's just 4 hour charters. And
Okay, so Diva Linda, you went on the boat.
I went on the boat. I did not get a chance to go on a cruise because, as you know, I'm still recovering from back surgery. So I wasn't able to do that, but I did go on the boat. It's a beautiful boat, and you can sit. The salon is really nice,
Mm,
some boats you sit really low, so especially as a short person, it's hard to see it through the windows or have to get on a pillow. But this particular boat, beautiful salon, and you can look right out the windows, and the food is
nice.
incredible, absolutely incredible. Imagine going on a dinner cruise where they're not catering it, but they're actually making it right there in front of you, and you can get a full dinner or a charcuterie board or whatever it is you want, and Cy is right there next to you while you're watching, so you can talk to him if you like, and so forth. And then if you want to move around, then you just go out the door and up on is it called the fly bridge?
yes, yes,
Fly bridge. And that's another whole experience because you can see forever. It's a 360-degree view, and you're out in the wind and the sun and the whatever. But it's so
Mm,
easy to love this. It's easy. Now, another important thing on this particular dinner cruise or sightseeing cruise, it's easy to get on and off the boat. Some of them you have to make a little jump or whatever, but this one, even with my back issues, I was able to get on and off without any problems. I helped me a little bit, but a normal person wouldn't have any problems whatsoever. And it's just
that's
gorgeous. You
awesome.
feel good. You don't have to talk to Cy if you don't want to. You can just be Captain Cy, or
Well,
you
if
can
this is
ask him
something
any
like a
question.
romantic, it might be like a romantic kind of, engagement or, anniversary kind of thing that someone does.
absolutely. And we definitely cater to that, and birthday parties, anniversaries. We've done memorials. We've done, actually, we had a couple not too long ago that chartered us that were eloping and brought their photographer along. And the photographer told us that it was just amazing, the different views for the pictures and how we did that. So yeah, it's we like to cater to, special occasions, and we're constantly thinking of new things to do. And we decorate the boat up for, birthdays and anniversaries, Valentine's Day, you name it, an intimate dinner cruise for two even, is fine. They're all 4-hour cruises, but we'll cater to 2, 4, or 6 people. My license is called a 6-pack. So we are only allowed to 6 paying customers, as my captain's license allows me. And I should mention that we are dog friendly too. And
no way.
Yes, we
That's
are
cool.
dog friendly. And that in itself, we've had this year, this is our 2nd year in business. And this year is just practically tripled from the first year we started. And we have had an enormous amount of repeat customers. And
That's wonderful.
That's telling me we're doing something right. And and especially the ones with the dogs they bring along, they love it. And we have little doggy life jackets, we have medium dog life jackets, and big dog life jackets. And so that's something that we really cater to is I know that
now, if you do a full moon cruise, are the dogs howling on the cruise? I'm just saying, or is it the people howling?
I think it's more the people, maybe. But the reason
tell us a little bit about what a Tacoma cruise would look like. You would come down into the dock area,
which is beautiful.
And then what are you going to see?
That's beautiful out there.
Scenery you're going to see.
That's what I was going to add, was the Commencement Bay area is absolutely gorgeous. And the reason I like it so much is because it's well protected. In other areas, it could be very choppy, and for this area is very well protected. When we take off from the marina, from the minute we leave the dock, there is a lot of things to see. There's a bunch of piers that are all rafted together, and in the summertime, the sea lions that gather like 50 or 60 of them at a time, and we cruise real slow by them because you're getting a great experience before we even leave the marina. And that's awesome. Great places to take video and pictures of these guys, because we cruise real slow by them, and they'll talk back and forth with you. But as we get out into the bay, I mean, I have a route that I take, and I've got it down to the minute to where, I've got it down to where we'll cruise to the west side of Tacoma there on the west side of Commencement Bay, and cruise the shoreline of Ruston and Point Defiance and Tacoma Narrows. You'll see the bridge. And then we cross over to Gig Harbor, which is a quaint little harbor. It kind of reminds me of a fishing village, but it's a fairly good sized bay or harbor in there. So we take a cruise around that. And that's one of the great vocal points, because in the summertime, they have these guys with gondolas that, the Venice thing, that they take their customers and they roll around the whole harbor there. So that's great to get pictures of that. And you don't see that every day. After we leave that, then we'll head over to Vashon Island and go into what they call Quartermaster, which is a very nice inlet and very well protected in there too. And it's just a gorgeous scenery the whole time. So by the time I do that and go to Gig Harbor, Quartermaster, and do that and turn around and head back for the marina, it's 4 hours. Wow. And it's a beautiful scenery the whole time.
That's a perfect amount of time too for people, especially if it's their first time and they're not used to being on the water. That's like a good amount. So it's not too long. and it makes it like a worthwhile excursion, like a big experience for the day,
It very well is. And there's a lot of marine life, and there's sea lions and seals with their pups and very curious little guys. And if we get lucky, occasionally you'll see a whale breach, or if you're
Oh,
in the right situation. Doesn't happen very often, but it has happened with some of our clients, and it's just a special moment, and they love it. And it's
oh,
the whole experience is just, it's gratifying for our customers. They love it. They can't tell us how much they appreciate it. By the time they get off the boat, they are, our reviews are spectacular. And
that's awesome.
yes, they just boast about the whole experience, and
Mm.
will definitely be coming back. There's every one of them say that, and a lot of them have.
So they're getting catered to, and they can move around, sit in the inside or go outside, which is really great because sometimes you go on these, done a lot of swampy things. It sounds
Yeah.
really bad. That doesn't sound good, but through a lot of those smaller boats and everything, which is great. But if you're trying to get footage, which is what I'm always trying to do, it's like I want to tell people to get out of their chair. They're in my spot. Like get, get out. I want over there, So to be able to have that space to kind of maneuver around and then not have so many people on, I actually think I'm glad you have a six pack.
Yes.
Because that's, when it gets so big, then it's like you everyone's fighting for a photo, or it just becomes, and I think even
Exactly.
with what's happened in with the pandemic and stuff, this is a way people can actually, if and when kind of thing, you can still be distanced because you've got the outdoors and the space for people to still have an experience, which is
Absolutely.
great, you know.
Absolutely. And we love that because it gives us to be able to give our clients a great experience, a personal experience. They're not with strangers, they're with their families and friends, and we completely cater to that. And the photos that go on that yacht is amazing. And we have a little thing where we put our clients behind the wheel, and we'll take a picture of
Oh,
them
cool.
like they're driving the yacht, and they just love that. So we do that. And my girlfriend is she is the cook, and her
Okay.
daughter Nicole she is my deckhand and our server, and
Okay.
she is awesome at both those. And so she's constantly paying attention to our clients and making sure that every need is fulfilled, and she's very good at that. We're
Who's
friendly
Jason?
people.
Who's
And
Jason?
now, no, it's James. I'm sorry.
James, sorry.
James is my business partner.
Okay.
So how it
Okay.
is, it's a family business, and I'll run it down. Sandy is my girlfriend for many years. Her daughter is Nicole, which is my deckhand and server. James is Nicole's husband and my business
Okay.
partner, and he is my
All
business
right.
partner.
Wow,
And
this is a family affair.
it
You
is.
should be playing that song when you start going out. I like this. So
So
what is it's really cool because everyone's like really invested in it then.
yes, and we now James, he does more of he's the businessman of this thing. I run the boat, he runs the business. And he'll
Okay.
come out sometimes, but a lot of times he takes care of the business. He's built our website, he does videos, things like this, and constantly, updating things. And so he runs the business, and which is great because it's a perfect marriage. I do what I do best. I'm a captain, and that's what I
Mhm.
do. And
Cool.
so it's a great situation. Now our website, he's built our website, and it's absolutely phenomenal. He has
Mm.
done a very good job with their website. It's user friendly, and there's areas on there you can meet the crew, which will have myself and Nicole and Sandy
Mhm.
and James on there, and it has a bio on all of us, and you can read through that, and
Get to know everyone. And everyone, the website is True North Charters LLC.com.
correct.
I do want to get to the food. Diva Linda, you said the food was excellent. Now, what did the Diva have champagne or bubbly or wine on this? Like, what's
Yes.
happening with the wine situation?
The wine is, we give
It's
one,
important.
it is important. We give a complimentary bottle with the dinner.
Diva, Linda, you know how to
And
choose them.
you know, we can't sell alcohol because we don't have our
Sure.
liquor license. But
Sure.
if the client would like to bring their own, that's fine too.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
cool.
you know, and we have refrigeration and ice chests, things like that, ice
Mhm.
maker aboard, and so everything is what we need to cater to all of this. Now the food is absolutely incredible. Sandy she just amazes me every day. She cooks with love is the only way I can
Oh,
put it. And every one of our reviews, it just, besides the experience itself, is towards the food because it's just amazing. And we have a menu on our website. Yeah, we have a lunch menu, we have a dinner menu, and then we have a charcuterie board, you know, for the sightseeing cruises, which is off the hook in itself. It's just
that's
amazing.
cool.
Yeah,
What about if people have allergies and things like that? Do you work with them?
absolutely we do. You know, allergies, lactose, anything that, you know, comes to food. And you know, we when they're booking the charter, you know, there's an area on there if you do have, you know, allergies or things like that, we definitely cater to that. She vegans. Sandy came up with some beautiful meals for the vegans.
Other than here's your carrot stick. Yeah.
Exactly. And they were flabbergasted. I mean, it's just, the food is, I can't even explain it to you. You just have to experience it. And
That's
that's one of
cool.
our, yeah, yeah,
That's cool. So it's food and views and whatever you want to drink, you know, bring it on
absolutely.
board or have your wine. I mean, Linda, I think this is great. And I think the location, because of the views from Tacoma, isn't that part of it for you too? Docking there's the views, and
It is.
it's a little bit not as busy as Seattle either, is it? Like
Correct.
Seattle's a busy, Tacoma's a little bit more laid back.
And I do want to mention from Commencement Bay, the view of Mount Rainier is nothing short of spectacular. On a clear day, it's in your face. And it's just, a lot of people love to go to the cockpit of the boat, which is the aft end of the boat. We have a nice area back there with tables and chairs, but they all like to line up along the back with Mount Rainier in the background and take photos of that.
Oh, that's
It's a
cool.
great backdrop. Yeah.
Do you get a lot of people coming from out of the region, or do you get a lot of people from Seattle, or that kind of, like, what's your makeup of clients?
Yeah. A lot of you know, out of state clients and things are people that are friends of the people that live here hey, this would be
Okay.
fun to have my friends come up and check this out. And we've had people from other countries actually come up and hardly speak any English whatsoever, but the smile on their face tells it all. You know, it's an international language like love, and
That's
you
cool.
you know they're having a good time because they just have a huge smile on their face and they're constantly scanning. I mean, Linda was right. From our salon, it's very comfortable. Our boat is immaculate and it is sanitized, and everything is sanitized and clean, but and very comfortable seating. And from there, you can look out 360. I mean, there's some very good visibility. So if you didn't feel like comfortable going outside, then you can, from the salon area, you got great visibility.
That's awesome. Diva Linda, don't you think that this sounds like something that travelers beyond the friends and relatives should know about, for like, this is something extra special for Tacoma itself as an experience for visitors going to Washington State as a whole, like that they should do this to kind of understand the boating life, especially if you're like me, who hasn't a clue, you know. I know how to drive, but I'm not going to be steering boats or anything. You don't want that, because last time I tried to even do a kayak, I was in circles for an hour, like no joke, absolute circles, 100%.
I think I think that Washington State is water, water, water everywhere, unless you're way in the interior. But to see the water driving by or walking by is one thing, but to get on a boat and actually get out on the bay is a whole different experience. It really showcases the area we're in. Tacoma is absolutely beautiful. It is much less busy than Seattle. Seattle has become, oh my gosh, overwhelmed with tourists and boats on the water. You got to be very careful. You know, you don't need a license to drive your own boat, and that shows. It shows when you're out there. So Tacoma is just it's so beautiful, and being on the water is just a perfect experience for everyone. So it's a spotlight. It's different than going to town or going to dinner or shopping or the other things that one can do in Tacoma. This just puts you on the water, which is really Washington, really Tacoma. It's just a different experience, and
Cool.
one that you won't forget. And it's good for everybody. It's good for those that have not been out on the water, those that have been out on the water. I mean, if I had felt better with my back, I would have gone on one of the cruises, because it's much different than going out on your own boat and making your own dinner. It's really nice to have somebody else take care of you. And that is the thing I learned about Cy and his cruises, is that they take care of you. It's only 6 people, or up to 6 people, 2, 4, 6, whatever you want. It's intimate, it's playful, it's informative, it's all the things you want when you are going for an experience. It's a wonderful gift. Oh my gosh.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Do you do gift certificates?
Actually, we do. On our website, you can get a virtual gift certificate, and that would be a wonderful gift for a
Diva Linda. No shopping, I'm telling you.
Well, can you imagine if you were visiting someone and it was around your birthday time or not, or just whatever, and your host said, you know, we have an experience we'd like you to go on, and here's your gift certificate, and enjoy yourself. You know, we may or may not go, just depends on how they feel, but oh my gosh, what a gift. I'm just saying that once you're on the water, you understand Washington. If you don't get on the water, there's a part of that whole Washington experience that you're going to miss, and you shouldn't. You should not miss going on. And
well, apparently we've missed it. Well, we're going to have to come back
going on a
now.
Small boat cruise. Oh my gosh, it's so different from the big boat cruises. The big boat cruises, they give you a ticket, they march you on there, they march you off. There's 1,000 rules, and none of this, some of that. It's just very regimented.
I want to float with wine and cheese and a charcuterie board with olives, and maybe have a little something stronger later on. You know, I want to float. I want to see the wildlife.
Absolutely.
That's what I want. Do we ever get to see dolphins?
Yes, they have what they call harbor porpoise, and we spot them all the time. And
awesome.
Our guests just love that. And you'll see their backs come out of the water with their fins, and they'll follow the boat. And they're a little darker than a normal,
I want
porpoise,
to go and do this.
Dolphins or whatever. But these are a little bit darker, but they're very cool.
They're similar,
playful.
Yeah.
They're playful, and they're exciting to see. And we get that quite often out in Commencement Bay. And with the seals too, there's a lot of seals, and they're very playful. They're curious little guys, and it's very easy to get good photos of them.
I want to do that. And then the fact is, you're floating through, or I should say cruising, but I want to float. I'm into floating right now. It's just kind of a thing. I'm either driving or typing. So for like someone like me, this would be like this magical, just take a deep breath, put your phone away unless you're taking photos, stop everything, really just immerse yourself, but you're also cruising through such amazing history. I mean, this is international history that you're cruising through too. So to me,
Absolutely.
that would also be part of like imagining what was going on when the British were there and the French were there and like what was going down. I mean, stuff went down out there. And so,
Absolutely.
there were rum runners there somewhere, weren't there? There
Oh,
had to be.
absolutely.
There were privates, there
Absolutely.
were all of that. So to me, that's the other thing about doing these experiences. It's, really relaxing and beautiful and breathtaking. But then there's that side of me goes, dude, could you imagine?
Yeah.
Back in the day, people were doing this.
There is
So,
so much to see out there. And even like, at any given time, there's 3 or 4 cargo ships or car carriers that are
Oh,
anchored in Commencement Bay. And you really don't understand the scope and size of those ships, but when they're anchored up, I'll cruise by one and their eyes get about this big around going, that thing is huge. And,
yeah.
a lot of people don't get to experience that. So
Mm.
it's just always something to see, always something to look for. And like Linda had mentioned earlier, up on the Flying Bridge, it's wonderful up there. It's a whole different perspective of being down in the salon. The views are amazing, and a 360 all the way around. Beautiful scenery, and you're up high enough to where you can see far away, and you can take
Mm.
amazing pictures. Now,
Mm.
the cockpit, which is the aft of the boat, our boat has a 13.5 foot wide beam, which is how wide the boat is. So we have tables and chairs in the back cockpit where, hey, maybe they want to sit out in the sunshine with their dinner or a glass of wine, and it's a great place to chill. And so we have them in the back of the boat, sitting down, or even up on the bow. A lot of them love to ride up on the bow. It gives them, a great experience.
You can
So
put the dogs on the bow and they can go bow, wow, wow. No,
they
sorry.
can go bow wow wow, absolutely, and they have done that.
Sorry. No,
But
I just have to have a little silliness. Now, pricing wise, I hate to always get into that kind of thing because
yeah,
things always change. So I want to say that with people that pricing will always change because the world is always changing. But
absolutely.
what is kind of an approximate kind of cost for like if a group of 6 went on
Yeah,
this?
a full blown dinner cruise, 4 hours on the water, VIP service, and the whole shebang. $1,800 for 4 hours.
Okay, that's not bad.
You
Yeah.
can, and if you think about it, if you took 6 people to a restaurant, you're going to pay
mhm.
pretty good money for, we offer a surf and turf dinner, which is absolutely off the hook. Filet
Mhm.
mignon and lobster,
Yeah.
shrimp. But besides sitting in a restaurant, you're out there enjoying the Puget Sound, and I think the food is amazing in itself, but I think with everything going on around you, the food tastes better too. You're out
Yeah.
there experiencing this. Um, yeah, it's an amazing experience.
I
So
it makes sense. I mean, people have to understand the cost of doing something like what you're doing. It's a big, you're not just filling your, little Subaru up and going for a trip. You know what I mean? It is a little
yes,
bit different, and there's manpower behind it, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears that goes behind something like this,
absolutely.
and then the food and
Yeah,
I
the
don't.
maintenance things you don't see, but we maintain our yacht very, very
Mhm.
meticulously. I mean, I have a chart that I go by and check things off,
Oh yeah, yeah.
motor oil changes and filters and things that the clients don't need to know. But it's a very reliable vessel, which means
Hmm.
it's safe. So, because I have other things to focus on besides, oh gosh, I hope my boat's running good. You know, uh, the boat has never let us down, knock on wood, but that's because we have such a grueling maintenance
Hmm.
program on that boat, and
Yeah, I
inside and
bet.
out,
What
inside and out.
and
So,
what
things
is
like that.
what about the sightseeing if you're coming like for the smaller, not the big dinner thing, but a
Hmm.
sightseeing with the
Hmm.
charcuterie board and
Yes,
I'll bring my big jug of margaritas.
absolutely, absolutely, yes. It's obviously cheaper. Like the charcuterie board and the sightseeing cruise, I believe is like 13.50. But there are different prices for different scenarios
Yeah.
now, which is all on our website. If you go to our website and push
Yeah.
booking,
I just wanted people to
shows
have
all that. Yeah,
an idea, but
and
I think I mean, Diva Linda, you are the shopper here, but I think that's actually very well priced.
yeah,
All
Oh,
and
of
I
what he
think so
said.
too. Oh yeah, having
Yeah.
my own boat, you have no idea how much these silly boats cost. And they're forever needing this paint job or that whatever
Mhm.
racing stripe on it, or I don't know. The maintenance you have to do. You have to do it or the
yes,
boat uh
Mhm.
quickly falls apart. That's the best I can tell you. So
Mhm.
size boat is beautiful. You look at it, you go, yeah, I can go, I'm gonna go on that and I'm gonna have a good time and I'm not gonna worry about whether I'm
Yeah. Now,
not
is it
coming
true?
back.
Do all yacht people play yacht music?
that's a funny you bring that up because
I had to. It was
we
my
call it
first
yacht
question, but I
rock.
behaved.
We
Yacht
call it
rock.
yacht
Yeah.
rock, but what
Yeah.
we do have is we have a Bluetooth, really nice speaker setup. And everybody that comes aboard, we say, hey, if you have a preference on music, we give them the Bluetooth and they can tap right into that, play their own music, and we've had a lot of people do that and they love it.
Oh, I
And
love that. Yeah, because it would not
yes,
be yacht rock on my
no,
boat.
it's whatever you want to hear. And like I say, that 4 hours you're with us, it's all about you.
Yeah.
And we make sure that. And so we are very, very committed to
I
our
think that would be really cool because then you can play like we travel full time, so we're always on the road. And certain areas, it's like, no, you play this, like certain areas, like if you go into a forest and you play the Nutcracker Suite and it's a little bit of snow coming down, that's magical, right? It's beautiful.
yes.
And then if you're going to drive through New Orleans, you're not playing the Nutcracker Suite. You better be putting Dr. John or Chawa Band or someone like that. So you got to have like music that goes with the scenery and the
Yes, absolutely.
and the culinary side of it.
So I thought that was a pretty neat deal to
Hmm.
do. And we're, down the line and we were going to do it this year, but this next year, I think what we're going to do is um, during football season, we're going to have the television aboard. And like we're huge Seahawk fans here in Seattle. So, we're gonna go out and say, hey, look, on our website, we do like a Seahawk Sunday cruise where you can come out and watch the football game, have and have food, a charcuterie board or whatever, and bring the buddies or your wives or whoever. There's a lot of people that love football. So I'm thinking, always thinking of something different
Ah,
we can
so
do.
I've a friend who's very connected with the ocean, and we do all these shows and talk about football and sports, which we have no clue on. And that is when you put the Nutcracker Suite on, is when football's on. You turn the sound down and you put the Nutcracker Suite on. That's
There
what
we
that's
go.
for. But
Yes.
but anyhow, um, he says that if you're into a specific team, that you must eat according to the team. So like, he was eating certain fish for the Miami Dolphins or something. I don't know what was going on with that. But the Seahawks, what are you going to eat if you need to like support and fuel the Seahawks?
Well, that's
Like you're going to have to do a whole new menu. Like,
Well, yeah, I mean, we would definitely do football food, you know.
but you got to eat for
I'm
the
not
Seahawk
necessarily saying,
itself.
hey, we're going to go out there and prepare you a seagull or something because that's not going to
No,
happen.
no,
But,
no, you're not
uh,
eating the seagull. No, no. But I'm
but
just kidding. I'm just messing with you. But that's kind of, I think for those kinds of events, I think it's is really cool. And I have a last question from my side. I know Nancy, Linda's probably got a lot more too. But what about do you? Because we don't always have captains on our show, so I want to ask a captain question. How
absolutely.
often do you have to like recaptain yourself?
Yeah, that's a very good question. And it's a grueling course. I'm going to tell you,
I bet.
where I got my credentials was here in Tacoma over at Foss, and it's a school, and I guess I'll plug them. It's Flagship, and Skip is the teacher there, and very good. Um, like I say, it's a grueling course. It's a 7-day course, and there's tests and a lot of things you got to do to get your license. And to answer your question, every 5 years you have to renew. And
Okay,
I've
wow.
already got on my license now, I've already got a year under my belt with my license. So
Okay, well, that's cool. Well, I mean, every 5 years, that's not too bad. That's kind of a good balance.
yes.
See, I'm staying a resident of Arizona because I have my driver's license until I'm 65.
Yeah, and I just renewed my driver's license for 8 years, and I thought that was great. Hey, 8 years, I have to deal with that again. I'm in,
Yeah, but a boat, I mean, airplanes, like I have a friend who's a pilot and he's always having to do these tests and it's like a big deal. And then
Absolutely.
he says a pilot is never allowed to have a bad day, because we've talked about things. I said, oh, a chef can have a bad day. He goes, not a pilot, can't have a bad day.
Yes,
And I bet the same for
absolutely
a
not.
captain. No bad
And
days allowed.
there's a lot of great people out on the water, but then there's that small handful that we call them paper captains, because you can go out and get your captain's license, but have no experience on the water. So that's where the term paper captain comes up. So I'm always vigilant when I see other boats in the area and things like that. And there's ways to tell if an oncoming boat knows what they're doing. And,
Oh,
at a distance, I learned to, you know, eyeball that. And
yeah, yeah.
by
That's defensive,
your
defensive.
reactions.
Yeah, defensive captaining. That's
Absolutely.
like us defensive driving. I
It's
can tell like so and so over there. I'm like,
You
So
absolutely hit it on the head. It's defensive captaining, and
mhm.
you can't let that slip at all. I mean, my eyeball is out there scanning like you're flying an aircraft, and
Mm.
uh, there's no different except that you don't have that far to fall, but you could go down.
Yeah, well, all I want to do is have the wine and the charcuterie board, and
Absolutely.
I'm gonna hang with Linda. Linda, did you have any other questions, comments, or?
I just want to say that the itinerary that he follows is quite wonderful. It's very interesting because if you go to Quartermaster, it's almost Marina. If you go by it, if you're in that area, it's very quiet, serene. The water is slow. It's really much different from anything else. And it's really, we went there for a couple of days. It's almost like hippies are there. It's really crazy. But so that is one. So you get to see another marina, which I think is exciting. And then you go over to Gig Harbor with they've just got everything. They've just made themselves into a true, I don't want to say tourist attraction. They've just tried really hard to bring on the amenities for they're small but mighty, and you can see the difference of how the Pacific Northwest and Tacoma area lives. It's just like any neighborhood. You have the fancy ones and you have the not so ones, but in a boat community, it's very interesting when your marina has really calm waters, and another
Yes.
one
That's
might
nice.
have ours tide marina can have a tide going quickly. You got to be careful, but anyway, I think that's an exciting route, and it's an informative route. One, like I said, I don't think you know Washington unless you get out on the water. And this is
Well,
Absolutely.
apparently we've missed the boat.
you missed the boat.
We
real
missed the boat.
real quick, I'd like to mention on our website that we do actually for our clients, we have a punch card. So as they return, we punch out,
Oh,
I think there's like 5 areas. If your 5th charter is like a 25% off, things like
nice.
that. Like I say, the virtual gift card. We have a merchandise on the website to where you can open see right here, the True North
See,
Charters hat,
swag.
and we have t-shirts and sweaters. And of course, it's not going to say captain like mine does because I'm kind of special. But
He's got the
um,
captaining going on. He did the
so
course.
yeah, but you on our website you can go through all that and see that there's a really nice video we took of Gig Harbor when we were anchored up in the bay there in the harbor with a drone, and it gives you an overhead view that is spectacular. It gives you a really good idea what Gig Harbor looks like. The entrance coming into Gig Harbor by the water is phenomenal because when the tide's out, it's very narrow to get in there, and there's a little lighthouse and a little beach that people love to hang out on. So when you enter into Gig Harbor, that's one of the first things that catches your eye,
cool.
And the homes right on the water and all the boats and yachts. And there is I'll do another quick plug, is a place called, it's pretty famous, is Tides Tavern. And they actually have a dock that you can tie up to if you can get a spot. And they have awesome fish and chips and things like that. But, and our clients say, hey, can we stop in there and buy a t-shirt? I say, if there's room on the dock, I'll pull in there and, go buy yourself a t-shirt or a hat from Tides Tavern.
Now I'm kind of it's starting to feel Jimmy Buffety now.
Yes, it is. So yeah,
I want a hamburger.
Our website, though, there's a lot of things to see, and like the videos, and our gallery is off the hook. I mean, it'll show you a lot of our clients we've had on board that you'll see nothing but smiles from ear to ear, and they're having fun just by looking and seeing all that stuff on our website. True North Charters LLC.com.
That's going to be linked in the episode notes for everyone. And also Diva Linda did a write-up, and that is also linked there. So check it all out. So thank you so much, Captain Si, for coming on the show and telling us all about your amazing adventures. It sounds tasty, delicious, and beautiful. And next time we get up to Washington State, we'll give you a call, because apparently we have no clue about what it's like to be in Washington until we get on your boat.
Well, we would love to see you, and anybody else that wants to come down and experience this, which I highly recommend. And
awesome.
Looking forward to expanding our business and the bigger yacht, and which we can offer more things. So
cool.
I enjoyed this, and I sure appreciate Linda. Thank you very much for setting this up for me. And by the way, your guys' yacht is fine. I check it.
I was gonna ask.
Yeah, nothing to worry about. Everything looks great. So yeah, you're still floating.
Well, that's good. We always want to hear that. You're still floating. That's great.
I mean, their yacht is literally just across the dock for me, so I can just look out and see their yacht. So
that's cool. That's cool. Well, thank you so much, everyone. Also keep up with Diva Linda at allingoodtaste.info. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Big Blend Radio with travel writer Linda Kissam. Keep up with Linda at allingoodtaste.info. You can read her articles in Big Blend magazines, and keep up with us at bigblendradio.com.